negotiating with Iran. We're not talking about restarting the war. So effectively, Iran controls the Strait. Iran is working out an agreement with Oman, and they've totally cut the U.S. out of the process. We're kind of letting them have the Strait right now. In addition, we're talking about moving our bases away. If Iran controls the Strait, that means they're not going to let U.S. naval assets in and out of the Persian Gulf. So we're effectively saying, you can keep the Strait, you can control which military ships get through the Strait. We're going to take our bases out of the Persian Gulf and away from your borders, effectively giving Iran something like a sphere of influence over the Persian Gulf. Everything.
I needed the...
even artillery,
I needed the
is
GPS.
going to be abandoned to Iran. That includes the Strait, that includes the Gulf, that includes our bases near and around the Gulf and Iran's borders. And by the way, what do you think happens when Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz?
I don't know what
Not only do they claim it and it's theirs,
Alright, I guess we're waiting on
not only do they use their control over it to deny a U.S. naval presence inside the Gulf, but also, as we all know and have talked about, they're going to charge service fees. They're going to charge a toll. And the money they collect from the Persian Gulf, they're going to use to fund their reconstruction.
And of course, they're gonna use this money as well to buy weapons for themselves, to create a stronger army. So at the end of the day, long story short, we started this conflict, we completely lost. Iran is better off than us at this point. We are losing our bases, we have no influence anymore in this region. We completely lost. We also lost the Strait of Hormuz. Our ships are not even allowed. Disaster. Just think in, guys, we elected clown. We elected this fat clown with orange skin and his blonde hair, Trump. He literally campaigned with no more wars. He started a war with Iran and he completely lost. That's just how it is. I wish I could tell you anything else. I am America first until my bones, but we just lost, and it's embarrassing. Or it's not even us. Every time I'm talking about us or America lost, it's not even us, because the majority of the Americans, they are against this. It's Trump, the Trump administration. They lost, and actually I like that at this point. But then our question should be, what are the consequences for the Trump administration if they literally start something not even in favor of the Americans, and now it turns out that it's one big disaster for us? We wasted so much money, we lost our bases, now literally fellow Americans died as well. What are the consequences? They literally have blood on their hands as well. From our own soldiers, but also remember, they bombed this school with all these Iranian schoolgirls. It's disgusting what they have been doing. But somehow we all allow this, we all accept this, like no one is protesting now. I just don't understand this. Like, it almost looks like we're busy with doom scrolling on our iPhone. Meanwhile, this Trump administration is literally doing almost completely the opposite is what the people want, and they are literally bringing our country more in danger now than before. The Iranians hate us more now. We completely lost. It's one big disaster. This whole conflict, this whole war of choice, this war in favor of the state of Israel. I'm so against this, but also like I'm kind of tired to like talk about this whole conflict, because what else is new? Everyone knew this. That's like the biggest problem, or that's like the biggest issue I have. Like, everyone knew that it would be a disaster, that it would be such a bad idea to attack Iran, but somehow this clown in office, Trump, he still thought, all right, it's gonna be a good idea. Why? I don't know. Probably because he's controlled by Bibi Netanyahu, but it's embarrassing. It's literally embarrassing. But again, guys, this is just my opinion. I'm very videos. Consider subscribing. I would appreciate it even more, and then you make sure you don't miss anything. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.
Is a criminal that scammed hundreds of millions of dollars from investors and now is a refuge from the Department of Justice. Bilzerian announced he was running for office against Randy Fine. Now, it's relevant that Dan Bilzerian doesn't even live in the district, doesn't even live in the state. Randy Fine is a congressman in Florida's 6th congressional district. Dan Bilzerian lives in Las Vegas, Nevada. Nevertheless, he announced he was campaigning against Randy Fine in the primary for that nomination, for that seat. Tonight, we got the results, and it was a complete blowout. Randy Fine won easily with 57% of the vote, Dan Bilzerian with 17%. Why do you think that is? Is it because Randy Fine is really popular? Is it because he's a really remarkable congressman? Is it because he's an all-around great guy? I think it has a lot more to do with the fact that nobody was really campaigning against him. This was a winnable race. Randy Fine only got 56% of the vote. If all of the challengers coalesced around one person, and one person was funded and serious and lived in the district and campaigned in the district, maybe that person could have won. Randy Fine's not exactly a popular congressman. That might have been a winnable race. But the reason it was lost is because Dan Bilzerian, who went out in this big public spectacle to try to unseat Randy Fine, he did not do a single campaign event. He was in the race for 3 months, 0 campaign events, didn't do one. As far as we know, he visited the district exactly 2 times that we are aware of, once at the very beginning and once at the very end. He bandwagoned onto a campaign event hosted by James Fishback, where he showed up at a park and handed out free tacos to a crowd of about a dozen people. He did not have a campaign platform or website until 2 weeks before the election, did not know basic information like the deadline for people to register to become Republicans, did not know when early voting started, in which parts of the district. He ran ads and sent mailers outside the district. It was a winnable race, but unfortunately, Dan Bilzerian was running an unwinnable, unserious campaign with no platform, no website, no media, no campaign events, no nothing. No ground game, no phone banking, nothing. Nothing other than tweets on Twitter. Surprisingly, you can't win an election by posting Israel on Twitter every day, which is what I believe he thought the campaign would consist in. Posting Israel every day on Twitter for 3 months in the hopes that eventually, if those tweets got enough engagement, that would translate into a victory in a congressional seat. Let's also talk about a donor base. He raised a somewhat considerable amount of money, something like $200,000 to $300,000. Out of the $300,000 raised, 50% of the donors by dollar amount were Arab Muslims. The top 5 in particular by dollar amount were Muslims. And specifically, the top Muslim donors to Bilzerian's campaign were associated with CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations. So not only is this a campaign that had no events, no platform, no website, no ground game, no phone game, didn't know the basic information, the deadlines for voter registration, didn't know the boundaries for the district geographically, but the campaign was funded by CARE. It was funded by a foreign Muslim lobbying organization. How can you claim to be America first, much less America only, if you're being funded by Muslims from the Middle East?
Okay, first I was like, here we go again. Nick is gonna complain about everything. He is gonna attack Dan Bilzerian again. Like, what else is new? But if this is true, like, he has a fair point. And what is going on? Like, why do all these politicians always receive money from people who are not America first? Like, we have Randy Fine, he receives a lot of money from the Israel lobby, and now we have Dan Bilzerian, he receives a lot of money from, like, the Muslim lobby. I don't know if this is real, but I guess so, and that's actually insane. Can we have politicians in this country who are loyal to the United States of America? Can we stop, like, that all these politicians, that they receive money from lobbies, from foreign lobbies who are not even loyal to the United States of America. Like, what is going on, guys? Is it too much to ask for that we have politicians who are only America first, who only care about America and Americans? Like, what is the whole point of politicians in the United States of America if they receive money from foreign lobbies? This is just something what I don't understand, and it also frustrates me a lot. So I get it. I understand where Nick is coming from. I have to be honest, I kind of agree with him on this one.
And I would add to that, Dan Bilzerian is Armenian. Armenia is one of the oldest Christian countries in the world. There's actually a very long and rich Christian story and culture and civilization in Armenia. It also happens to be the fact that Armenia was decimated by the Ottoman Turks about 100 years ago in a horrific, brutal genocide. And you should read some of the accounts of what happened to the Armenian Christians at the hands of the Muslim Ottoman Turks. They were brutal. They were brutal, slaughtered Armenians by the hundreds of thousands in one of the worst genocides in the last century. Not only are you campaigning on America first and America only in America, funded by Muslims from the Middle East, but you're doing so as an Armenian, which has a claim to one of the oldest Christian churches in the world, and you're taking money from the people that genocided your ancestors, people that slaughtered in the most brutal and horrific ways your Christian ancestors, your blood, your civilization, your heritage. Shame on you. How dare you come into this country and say America first, America only? You take money from these people that have your ancestors' blood on their hands? It can't be like this. This is the story of the kooks on the right. And what characterizes them is the level of unseriousness. It's that because they don't really care about our country, because they don't really care about the issues, they're just not serious about it. They don't take it seriously enough to really try and go out to win. But then there's also the lack of an ideological core. Because they're unserious, because there is no ideological foundation, because they're not even meaningfully right-wing, they don't even know the meaning or the history of America first, or our country, or our civilization. There's this treachery, working with the enemy. There's only one way that we're going to deliver America first, and that is with Americans. With Americans, with Christians, with the culture and identity and heritage of this country. Not with care, not with impact, with neither. And there was something ironic then that in this race, in Florida's 6th congressional district, you had a competition between AIPAC-backed Randy Fine and CARE-backed Dan Bilzerian. You had a race between an immigration restrictionist, Randy Fine, who is a Zionist backed by Israel, and then on the other side, you had somebody with no real political platform, backed by the Council on American Islamic Relations from the Muslim Brotherhood, from the Middle East. Zero good options for Americans. No Christian option on the ballot, no pro-white option on the ballot, no America First option on the ballot, nobody that is America First in any meaningful sense. Not even a serious campaign. So I saw the Dan Bilzerian campaign from the beginning, and I knew this was not serious. I knew this is exactly where this was going to go. And that's why the result didn't surprise me. In the end, this was the vote total. Randy Fine, 57%. Dan Bilzerian, 18%. Just 18%. And having spent, I think, something like $750,000. And what's funny is that earlier in this year, when Dan Bilzerian attended by Zoom the America First United conference hosted by Amy Dangerfield, among others, they said that nobody is doing anything to put America first. Nobody is doing anything about Israel. No one is doing anything about or something like this. We need to get out there and do something. So what did Dan Bilzerian do here? By running for office and not taking it seriously, By running for office with no intention of taking it seriously or winning, no plan on how to win, no plan to win, not even giving it a good college try, not even really going out and putting the best foot forward. What did we go out and do in this big spectacle? We wasted $750,000.
But at least he tried, and maybe Dan was not the right person to do this, but at least he tried, Nick. I mean, you should do something like this then, because again, and I can say this over and over again, but you are only sitting there in your living room doing a live stream and complaining about everyone else who is trying to make a difference. Like, what are you doing at this point? Then you're attacking Candace Owens, now you're attacking Dan Bilzerian one day later, and I'm not even trying to defend these people at all, like, don't get me wrong, but it's just like so easy to, like, other people who are at least trying to do something, and if you're Dan Bilzerian, you have to compete against, like, Randy Fine, like this fat Israel shill guy. Of course, you knew already from the first day that he was gonna lose, because you don't make a chance against the Israel lobby by yourself, so it was almost like impossible, but at least he tried. And of course, now it turned out that it was like one big disaster, he just lost. That's how it is. But what are you doing, Nick? You should create your own movement. You should create your own political party then, because then you could focus on that instead of like complaining about all these other people who are at least trying to do something. And maybe they didn't try hard enough. I get it. I can understand where you're coming from, Nick, but at least they tried to do something a little bit more than you. So just stop complaining and maybe try to do something yourself. That would be better. If you're always complaining about other people, maybe you show those people how you would do it, Nick. I'm curious about that.
We're $750,000 of anti-Israel money down the tubes to get 18% of the vote. Nice. You know how much further that $750,000 could have went? If it went to some nonprofit, if it went to a think tank, if it went behind a candidate who actually had a chance of winning. What if that money went behind Thomas Massey? Might that have made a difference? What if it went behind James Fishback? You know, James Fishback only raised about $500,000. Dan Bilzerian loaned his own campaign $1 million. I think he raised another $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 on top of that. They raised 3 times as much money, and they got 17% of the vote. I think they got something like 15,000, 20,000 votes. That is what it costs to go out and do something if you're not thinking. That's what it costs to go out and just do something impulsively with no intention of winning, no plan, not taking it seriously. This is what we have to show for it. Contrast that with James Fishback. This is the other campaign that we watched in Florida. You know, it's a very competitive Florida primary for the governor's race. You had Byron Donalds. He was the front runner from the beginning. He had $100 million in the bank, endorsed by Donald Trump, endorsed by J.D. Vance, endorsed by almost every member of the leadership of the Republican conference. He was a ranking member of the Republican conference in the House, name recognition across the state of Florida. In my opinion, this was probably an unwinnable race for anybody other than Byron Donalds, just because of those advantages alone. Florida is one of the biggest states in the country. It's a Republican stronghold. And the more people there are in the state, that means the costlier the race. A statewide race in a populous state, in a very large geographically state, it's going to be a very expensive race to try to win, especially as an insurgent. And you're running against somebody that, although he isn't an incumbent, he's got all the endorsements, he's got $100 million in the bank, he's got an operation, he's a political veteran, he's got name recognition up and down the entire state. This was probably an unwinnable race from the beginning. James Fishback had no money, no endorsements, no name recognition, no operation, very few personnel. Very lean operation. I think they had about a dozen people. Half of them weren't even paid. And in the end, he got 10% of the vote, over 170,000 votes. Going up against somebody, again, that outspent him 200 to 1. Fishback was outspent 200 to 1, had the endorsement of Trump and Vance, Like I said, veteran in the House, name ID up and down the state, and Fishback a complete nobody, no operation, no personnel, no money, no nothing, got over 170,000 votes statewide. And even though he was defeated, this is what Politico had to say about James Fishback's campaign. And we'll get into some other interesting numbers. This is from Politico earlier today. It says, quote, "It's unlikely that James Fishback's head-turning mad dash through Florida's political landscape will end in victory. Yet it's just as likely that should he lose, Fishback will go down as the most influential loser in recent political history. One whose electoral blitzkrieg has appeared to mold a new political coalition of the disaffected and uninitiated. There are glimpses of it taking shape. Take, for instance, the University of North Florida poll from February that revealed Fishback as the dominant preference for Florida voters under the age of 35. Fishback won all the voters aged 18 to 25. He won the majority or the plurality of voters 25 to 35. Totally dominant with the young demographic. It says, regardless of these signals that Fishback is doing something new, he's been shut out by the state's political establishment. Earlier this June, they revoked his invite to debate Byron Donalds at a party conference in Tampa. Evan Powers, who heads up the Florida GOP, cited what they say are Fishback's anti-Semitic and racist attacks on party members. Another GOP candidate in the race, Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins, also attempted to kick Fishback off the ballot, citing residency issues. The author writes, "I sat down with Wes Renaud, the president of the University of South Florida College Republicans. Renaud was the person responsible for inviting Fishback to the evening's event, and I asked him what he thought of Fishback's chances. He told me that when his chapter conducted a straw poll on the race back in February, the split was 80% to 20% in favor of Byron Donalds. By the end of the semester," he continued, "the poll had flipped completely. 80% for Fishback, 20% for Byron Donalds." In one college semester, you had at a college campus, took a straw poll of young Republican primary voters. They were 80% for Byron Donalds, the establishment, AIPAC, back candidate. By the end, it didn't just flip a little bit, it flipped completely. 80% for Fishback, for a groyper. 80% of young people on one of Florida's largest campuses for a groyper candidate. That's the Fishback effect.
But that's good, right? Because this literally pictures that there are better times ahead of us. Because now, of course, you have many old people, you have many of this boomer generation, like the older people among us. They will probably not vote for Fishback. But now, if it turns out that like 80% of the younger people, if they will vote for him, that means like it's just a matter of time. And literally like the real America First candidates who are not controlled by the Israel lobby, they will win at the end. Like maybe not now, maybe we have to wait like 4 more years, maybe 8 more years, maybe let's even say 20 years. But at least if all these younger people, and they're older, then they will also still vote for these kind of candidates like a Fishback. And we have a newer generation of younger people. Like the problem now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I really believe the problem of this country, or the problem, it also like sounds very rude, but like it's this boomer generation, or like the older people, and not all of them, of course. You have many older people, they also would vote for like an America First candidate. But for example, take Trump now. Many of the people who still support Trump at this point, or like the Trump administration, it's like always these older Fox News boomer generation. I don't know young people who still support Trump or like the GOP now. I don't know any people like my age or even a little bit older who still support that. It's always these older people, and in my opinion, they're like almost like the problem in this country, or not like the problem. And I hope you get the point. If someone is like older watching this and they don't support Trump anymore, or they support like also America First candidates like in Fishback, that's good. I have nothing bad to say against you, but you probably also know where I'm talking about. Many of these like Fox News zombies who just don't think, who barely don't have any brains anymore, or they just believe anything what the GOP will tell them. I really believe that they're responsible for the biggest problems in this country. And the younger generation, we have to clean all the mess they made, and that's just how it is. But at least this means there are better times ahead of us, and there's still some hope at the horizon.
It says, when it comes to Fishback, the biggest question looming over Tuesday's results appears to be less about his winning or losing, but whether his candidacy will serve as a signal flare heralding the post-MAGA era. Will his kamikaze run mark the inception of a radical style of politicking that operates at the high speeds of our networked lives and that runs on the populist wavelength of our platform communities? It seems all but certain that this dark energy will continue to surge, but who will direct the flow? This is from Politico. And if you looked closely at the results, we didn't get the turnout that we wanted. Of course, we wanted Fishback to win, and we even thought maybe he would have outperformed the polling. The polling had him at about 10% statewide, pretty consistently from February onward. Roughly starting at the beginning of this year, Fishback started to poll at around between 8 to 12% in the mainstream poll.
hours. We're about 10 hours away from the final destination, give or take. We're about, give or take, 10 hours away from where we're going. And I'm not stopping. I haven't slept. I haven't slept since. So what I was saying is, oh, of course you're not. Of course, you leave all and whatever. So I've been driving. I've been driving since before. Been driving for stream. You know, this is an impressive thing that I'm doing here. Someone else told me did this, I would be impressed, but I can't. And I'm doing something good because as far as I can tell, the world is just, and you know what I'm seeing so far. You know, my consensus that Florida is terrible is still correct if you ask me. If you ask me, my consensus Florida is terrible is correct. About 10 hours. Gonna be about 10 hours until I get to where I'm going. It's gonna be about 10 hours until I get to where I'm going. And you know, you know. 10 more hours. 10 more hours. You know, I'm glad I'm out of Florida because I was never going to have anything in Florida. This assertion that Florida is some sort of magical place is, it's just, I hate it. I hate this notion that Florida is some magical place, or like, I don't know. If I was making enough money elsewhere, you couldn't convince me to go to Florida. I mean, you couldn't. You could. I mean, your odds of getting laid as a man are inherently higher in Florida, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, it's not easier to hook up with a woman in Florida. I mean, Florida's not some magical place that gives where females just give it up to people because it's Florida. So I don't know where this assertion that Florida is a great place came from, but it's not rooted in reality as someone that's lived there for 30 years. I mean, maybe if you were born elsewhere, it seems like some great place, but try living in Florida for 30 years and having nothing to show for it and tell me it's some great place then. I mean, seriously, tell me Florida's some great place when the police of Florida sabotage your life in your early years. I mean, to me, the police of Florida are no different than sex offenders because they permanently ruin people's lives at young ages. So there's no difference. There's no difference between a sex offender and a police officer in my eyes, because they both do irreparable damage to people's lives before those people have a chance to even live their lives. Uh, 30 years old, in the sense that they ruin people's lives permanently before they have a chance to live their lives. So, you know, I'm glad this country's going down the toilet, because this country never even gave me a chance. I'm glad there's no room for things to turn around in this country. because this country never gave me a chance. This country never gave me one chance or one opportunity. And I have to do this. I have to drive with no sleep for over 24 hours because this country wouldn't give me the chance. It gave people that wasn't born here a chance and not me. This country gave people that weren't born here a chance and not me. And this is what I have to do to get the bare minimum. And people are sitting there saying that Florida is some great place. Florida never gave me anything the whole 30 years I was there. All Florida ever did was take from me. For 30 years. For 30 years, all Florida ever did was take from me. Some great place Florida is. A stronghold. A stronghold. I spent 30 years in Florida. Spent 30 years there. And that state gave more to people who weren't born here than it did me. The whole 30 years that I was there. I hate that state with every fiber of my being. I hate the state of Florida. I hate people who like visiting the state of Florida. I hate people who like the weather in the state of Florida. I hate people who like anything about the state of Florida. Like, I'm serious. I lived in the state of Florida for 30 years, and the state of Florida gave more to people that weren't born in the state of Florida than it ever did to me. It makes me sick that people don't understand what I mean by that when I say it. Okay? 365 days times 30. Okay, that's a rough estimate. Okay, multiply however many minutes are in a day by that number or something like that. Okay, and that's how was lying about me and just letting me go to waste. The state of Florida was completely and utterly lying about me as a person and letting me go to waste. That's the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is I'm not a criminal. I didn't commit fraud. I didn't commit grand theft. I helped someone do that, but I didn't do it. Okay? I didn't commit fraud. I didn't commit grand theft. I helped someone do it, but I didn't do it. Okay? And the state of Florida lied about me. The state of Florida ruined my life before my life had a chance to begin. And I spent every waking moment of my youth thinking about the life that I was going to live in Florida. I spent 18 years hoping and dreaming and thinking that I was going to have this great life in Florida. And I did this shit instead. And the way that you guys treated me, when YouTube was also my dream, YouTube was a part of the dream that I had. And for you guys to treat me like this and to not have my back, I view that as a betrayal by the world. When I tried to explain to the world how fucked up the state of Florida is in my own way, I tried to explain to the world how fucked up the state of Florida is in my own way, and I tried to explain how fucked up what the state of Florida did to me is in my own way. And you know, I mean, it goes without saying, there's no there's no opportunity I won't take to get back at the world. There's not really an opportunity I'm not willing to take in my own way. Okay? In my own way and not literally. There's really no opportunity I'm not willing to take to get back at the world in my own way. Because I was basically appealing to the world, or trying to explain to the world how fucked up what the state of Florida did to me is in my own way through this YouTube channel. I mean, it all started on Discord. The betrayal from the world, started long ago, but it started on Discord. The world betrayed me on Discord when I tried to explain how fucked up the state of Florida is. I viewed that as the world betraying me, because I know I'm correct that the state of Florida is no different than a sex offender, or the police of the state of Florida and the courts of the state of Florida are no different than kid diddlers or sex offenders, in the sense that they have authority. They violate the people subject to their authority with that authority, and they predominantly target younger people due to their vulnerability and gullible nature, and they permanently negatively impact their lives, and refuse to admit any fault. They refuse to see things. They refuse to see the victim's perspective. So the police refuse to see morality through any lens other than their own. The police collectively refuse to see reality through any other lens than their own. They have a community. They have a collective culture of coming up with a bunch of reasons why it is okay for them to do things that they know is wrong to people with the authority granted to them. They don't collectively fight against that. I mean, the list goes on. The list goes on. There's no end to the amount of victims. I mean, what the police do to people is violating on a far larger scale even than what the entirety, and this is not a defense. This is an apple and oranges things. This is a comparing two bads. When comparing the two bads between the police and kid diddlers, even though in my opinion those are two sides of the same coin, I would argue that the police are worse. I would argue that the police are worse than the kid diddlers, because the police are the ones with the power, and they're the ones that are the police contribute to people being touched unconsensually. The police prey on people's young naivete. and then they take bribes. So the police are far worse than kid diddlers because they will take bribes from sex offenders in prison to let sex offenders harm people. The police will take bribes in prison to let sex offenders harm people. Police will walk around trying to wholeheartedly argue their perspective of morality. The police will walk around wholeheartedly trying to argue their perspective of morality when it's been proven time and time again that they are complicit in the worst types of crimes that humans commit, and they're the ones with the power that are violating said institution that they claim to be the authority figure of. So, and don't give me some it's better than nothing thing. It's not. I'm proof that it's not, and there's many other people that are proof that it's not. So the fact that you're not listening is the issue in it of itself. In it of itself, the fact that you are not listening and genuinely engaging is the issue in and of itself, because you don't have the ability to engage genuinely. Okay, so the fact that you're not listening and engaging is the issue in and of itself. You're not solving the problems. Okay, you were going to let me rot away in Florida. You were going to let me rot away in Florida without ever having listened to a thing that I said, without ever having done anything other than mock and ridicule me. And we've been over this a million times. And, you know, I've done more damage to the world. I've done tenfold the amount of damage you've done to people in ways that are more morally sound. Your attempts to still portray yourselves above me when you send me unsolicited messages is pathetic, but you're forever in the wrong. You still don't admit that you were wrong, okay? And you're forever in the wrong, and you still don't admit that you're wrong, okay? I've hurt way more people than you have as a result of you messing with me and then hiding after, okay? As a result of you doing things that are out of line. As a result of you doing things that are out of line and then hiding after, I've hurt way more people than you have. And they're your people. And I don't care what you say in response to that. I know it bothers you, and I'm going to keep doing it. And I don't even read your messages. You were going to let me rot away in Florida. You don't have the moral high ground in any way, shape, or form. You were going to let me rot away in Florida, and I'm talking about the world. Okay, you were going to let me rot away in Florida. You knew it was wrong that I was rotting away in Florida. You know that it's wrong that I have to leave Florida to achieve anything resembling a better life for myself. And the world is going to continue to pay for the rest of my days for the way that I've been treated and the way that my life was prematurely sabotaged by the prison industrial complex and the citizens of the world. Okay? The prison industrial complex and the citizens of the world sabotaged my life before my life had a chance to begin. And I'm going to spend every waking moment of my life ensuring that I harm as many people as I can within ways that do not warrant me any legal repercussion. Okay? And it's not in a tee-hee way. Okay? Because this shit is a joke to me. My life's not a joke. The shit that I was talking about when the world betrayed me was not any grounds for the world to single me out as a target of mockery and ridicule. And I'm going to continue spending every waking moment of my life enacting every repercussion that I can on the world. Every repercussion that I can on the world. And VR boxing is an example of that. VR boxing is an example of that. Okay? So, that's my way of starting. That's what I'm doing. Over there in boxing, I'm just stoking the flames. I'm just over there in VR boxing, stoking the flames. Okay? And that's what you get. And it's coming back to your people. And it's coming back to your people tenfold. That's the flame. In the world. I'm going to be boxing's head. I'm everything that's unfair personified. I'm everything in their world that's unfair personified. Okay? When I won fair and square, because you guys just can't let me have anything. You just can't let me have anything. And that's what's so sweet about it. That's what's so sweet about it. You just can't let me have anything. You just can't let me have a single thing. You just can't let me have a single thing. Not even the most VR boxing wins. You can't even let me have the most VR boxing wins. It's all, I didn't earn it. I didn't earn it even though I won. I didn't earn it even though I won. When it's me. When it's me, I didn't earn it even when I won. Story of my life. The story of my life. Even when I win, I didn't earn it according to you. According to you and your world. I didn't earn it even when I won. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of that being every single thing in my life is I won it, but no, I didn't win it. Okay? I'm sick of my life ending before it even begins. Okay? Figuratively speaking. No matter what I do right. Okay? I'm sick of living that bit in the peanuts, okay? Except it's not even that. But the fact that you're not even listening is the entire problem, okay? The fact that you're not even listening is the entirety of the problem. As per usual. With an individual, create repercussion free. I will set events in motion without it ever being connected back to me. And I will show up, burn everything down. Everything down. I'll burn everything down. Okay? I'll leave and I'll come back and then I'll burn the rest of it down later. That's the kind of guy I am. that's what's in my DNA. That's always what's been in my DNA. I've told you in a million different ways that that's what's in my DNA. Told you in a million different ways not to fuck with me. You keep fucking with me. Okay? You were trying to fuck with me earlier today when I don't care what you have to say, and I'm never going to care what you have to say. So I'm drinking this. It's 10% alcohol. The hardest thing they had that I was willing to drink in the store. Well, it was the hardest thing that I grabbed, and I didn't check. This is whatever, dude. I'm not explaining myself to you. Not even fucking listening. Okay, so it's 10% on a pint. I don't have a wife. I don't have a wife on me. And I have a chance at life. Fucking bullshit. I got to drive for fucking 24 hours to have a chance at life. Everyone treats me like I'm a fucking loser when I have the most fucking VR boxing wins in the world. Shit's not fucking fair. Shit's never been fucking fair. Always been treated like fucking shit. And I've never fucking deserved it. Like this should be happening to me. Treated like I'm a fucking loser by the world. Lived in one of the most populated fucking places in the fucking Western Hemisphere, and they treated me like I'm a fucking loser. When I have the most VR boxing wins in the fucking world, and I gotta drive 24 fucking hours. I gotta drive 24 hours for a fucking chance at ever making enough money to be treated the way that I should have been treated where I was fucking born. Fucking bullshit. And everyone's a fucking asshole to me on the internet, which is like the world stabbing me in the fucking back. It's like I told the world some fucking true shit. Told the world fucking true shit about how fucking bullshit fucking Florida is. And everyone acts like Florida's fucking awesome. Florida fucking right about how bullshit Florida is, and everyone in Florida fucking agrees that I'm right about how fucking bullshit this place is, and then the world wants to treat me like fucking shit for saying what everybody in fucking Florida already knows. Everybody in Florida that's had to deal with the place for more than a fucking day knows that the place is fucking bullshit. Everyone wants to act like I'm a fucking asshole for saying the fucking truth, for saying what everybody in fucking Florida knows, when Florida is one of the most populated fucking places in the Western fucking hemisphere. Everyone wants to treat me like I'm fucking stupid for stating the fucking obvious about that place. Don't want to even fucking listen to me talk when I'm fucking drunk. I can't even get drunk for you people and have you fucking pay attention to it. I'm gonna fucking drunk drive. I'm gonna drunk drive until fucking 11 o'clock at night, and then you fucking morons aren't gonna fucking listen to me. I'm gonna drunk drive. Gonna drunk drive until fucking 11 o'clock at night, and none of you fucking assholes are gonna fucking listen to me. None of you fucking assholes are gonna fucking listen to me, and I'll sit here fucking talking until midnight. I'll sit here talking until fucking midnight, okay, and none of you fucking morons are gonna listen to me. Fucking hate this shit. Fucking bullshit. Won't fucking listen to me. Fuck you. Fucking morons. I'm right. I know I'm right, and I know I deserve more attention than this. And fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking drunk driving for fucking nothing. Drunk driving for fucking nothing. Fucking nothing other than to feel better. So I feel like shit. Because I feel like shit. Doing it because I feel like shit. Staring at two fucking zeros. And ancestors fucking on longer than 100 years. My ancestors have been risking it all on won't even listen to me. And for what? Fucking to get betrayed in Florida by fucking losers. Get betrayed in Florida by fucking losers. To get betrayed again, but this time in Florida by fucking nobody losers. Didn't even deserve a fucking chance. Didn't even deserve a fucking chance this time. That's what I'm gonna tell my fucking kids. I'm gonna tell my fucking kids they didn't even fucking deserve a chance this time. I'm gonna be like, I gave it to them, and they didn't even fucking deserve the chance. I'm gonna be like, they didn't even fucking deserve the chance, and I fucking gave them the chance. And they fucking stabbed me in the back for fucking peanuts. Stabbed me in the back for fucking peanuts. For a fucking vape pen. Stabbed in the back for a fucking peanut. By fucking nobodies. Go ahead if you want to go around. Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. in Alabama to hold up fucking traffic? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Think I'm in fucking Alabama to hold up traffic? Fuck am I doing? Fuck do I look like? I look like a fucking joke. I look like a fucking clown. Oh, don't answer it. Oh, don't answer that. Oh, don't answer that. Oh, don't answer that. Okay, I gotta get over. That's why everyone was getting over. It's this stupid fucking lane. Okay. I get it. Yeah, you gotta turn. You're the guy that's always gotta turn into the parking lot, but I don't. God, dude. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. Oh, okay. Oh, gonna have a fucking heart attack. Oh. Gonna have a fucking stroke. Gonna have a fucking stroke, heart attack in the middle of nowhere. For fucking Alabama, for fucking no one. Oh, for fucking no one. For 0 fucking people. I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. I'm gonna have a heart attack with 0 fucking viewers. Gonna have a heart attack with 0 fucking viewers. Oh. Here, watch me go to sleep right fucking here just so you're not the reason that I fucking pass away. Oh. Okay. 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 Yeah, don't ask me if I'm okay or anything. Don't ask me if I'm okay or anything. Don't ask me if I'm okay or anything. No one asked me if I'm okay. Oh. This is so pathetic. Okay, so let me well, there's no one else here, but let me clue you into what has happened. So basically, I told the one person that's coming in and out of the stream that I almost had a heart attack on stream, and now the person came in, left heart reactions and cheering reactions. So basically, they came here to confirm that what I was saying is true. They left heart reactions and celebrating reactions upon. So this is what's pathetic about it, is that this person was not paying attention, pretended to me, this person was trying to pretend to me that they were happy to see me happy, which I did not ask them to tell me that. Okay, this person texted me that out of the blue. This person texted me that out of the blue. It was an unsolicited message. I have nothing to do with this person having my phone number, and they're the only person watching the stream right now. So I texted just then. I wouldn't have been wrong at all. At all. At all. Everything that I said. Everything that I said about society, everything that I said about you, everything that I said about your people would have all been validated. If I checked out just then, it would have all, to anyone with eyes, it would have been, to anyone that still had doubt, to anyone that still had doubt as to whether or not what I said on the internet with the platform that I was given, regardless of how many people it reached, for anyone in doubt as to whether or not what I said with my words and my voice was true or not, that would have solidified it just then. That would have solidified it just then. That would have solidified that I was right. Everything that I ever said, my entire digital footprint about what should happen to your people, about why I'm doing this to your people, about why I'm never going to stop doing this to your people, about why this isn't a crime, about why the police are in my way for preventing me from doing this. Like, this cements every single thing. This cements every single thing that I've said about you and your people, like tenfold. You know, it's just another instance, another chip in the bucket. Next to you swatting me, next to you trying to kill my dog that died from cancer, next to all the jobs that I've lost, next to all the people that have almost been physically harmed or worse because of you. Like, it just solidifies everything tenfold. Just solidifies everything tenfold. You know, think about all the don't have a heart attack comments. You know, think about all the don't have a heart attack comments, but you never change your tune. Think about all the don't have a heart attack comments, but you never change your tune. Think about that.